Newly formed tropical storm Harold is churning off the coast, heading for the Lone Star State. Let's turn to NBC meteorologist Michelle Grossman, who's watching just how much rain Texas may get. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Francis. Great to see you. We could see tropical downpours bringing even 7 inches of rain in some spots, some really gusty winds, rough surf. We could see some surge forecasts up to 1 to 3 feet, also some dangerous rip currents. So the latest on Harold, we're looking at 45-mile-per-hour winds. It's moving quickly at 18 miles per hour. It's going to move onshore, making that landfall later on this morning into the early afternoon, somewhere between Corpus Christi and Brownsville. And we're going to see it making landfall as a tropical storm, so bring those gusty winds with it and that heavy downpours. Tropical alerts stretching along the Gulf Coast of Texas. We're looking at winds 30 to 40 miles per hour later on today, gusts to 55 miles per hour. And that rain will begin to move onshore in just a couple of hours. We're looking at isolated amounts up to 10 inches of rain, especially where you see those darker colors, the reds, the oranges, the yellows. So Corpus Christi, also Laredo, seeing some really heavy rainfall. Storm surge forecast, we're looking at a surge of 1 to 3 feet. Could see some dangerous rip currents as well.
All right, elsewhere in the tropics, there's Harold, right? That's really the only other one we want to watch, and that's just for Hispaniola and Puerto Rico. Will not affect the United States except for some surf. If it does this, we're going to get surf on the East Coast late into this weekend and next week. All of this really not a concern because it's going to stay out to sea if it even develops. So Tropical Storm Franklin, 50-mile-per-hour winds, finally starting to turn more to the north. Puerto Rico's already been seeing some rain. Mayaguez, Rincon, Aguadilla, all the way up the west coast. They're seeing really heavy rainfall. That will get into especially Dominican Republic as this drifts to the north tonight and tomorrow. You can see by Wednesday morning, it's making landfall with about 50-mile-per-hour winds. This is what we need to watch as it increases in speed, only because, number one, Bermuda, but number two, because that's going to send some swell back towards the East Coast. Surfers going to love it. You can see the forecast plots as far as spaghetti goes, spaghetti models, pretty much in agreement, taking it north across the island. That's what's left of Gert, no worries. That's Invest 92. That's what's left of Emily, and none of those will be an issue. So we're looking pretty good for, considering all that's going on out there, we're looking good here in the Tampa area.
Yeah, we do have some. Yeah, that's right. Some rough weather out there. First, let's show you real quick here. It's noticeably cooler today for San Antonio at 90. Stinson Airport also 90. And it's a little breezy out there. East-northeast winds are 18. All those clouds are associated with now what has made landfall, Tropical Storm Harold. Here's the latest on that. Winds are at 50 miles per hour, moving to the west-northwest at 21. So a pretty good clip. You can see the spin right there. South of Corpus Christi is where it made landfall, continuing to push off to the west. But like with most landfalling tropical systems, we are seeing some severe weather also associated with the storm. And I'll show you where that is right now. We'll zoom into that, and you'll see it's in our southern counties has the best chance of severe weather through the afternoon. And the rest of the area, not just to the north, say from Pleasanton northward, not looking too bad, not even much rainfall. But you can see we do have 2 tornado warnings to talk about. One is for Bee and Live Oak counties. That's associated with that cell right down here. Now, these are all Doppler radar indicated warnings. So no tornado actually on the ground has been spotted. But that means that by looking at the radar, we could tell there's a possibility that a storm could produce a tornado. This one down here, moving off to the west about 40 miles per hour near Encinal at about 119, Prairie View School at 129. That's if it holds together, but that likely will fall apart. So we'll keep our eyes on that. This one up here for Pearsall and parts of Webb and also Duval counties. That one also until 1230. Associated with that one storm right there. A lot of lightning with that too. So again, not saying a tornado is on the ground. Radar is indicating there is the possibility for a tornado, which is very common with these landfalling systems. Besides that, winds of up to 60 miles per hour possible. And also you see all that lightning there associated with that too. Now, how much rain do we think we're going to get? It's mainly just to our south, really, because as that storm moves off to the west-northwest, it's going to keep that rain shield down to the south, weakening into a remnant area of low pressure as we head into Wednesday morning with winds down to 25 miles per hour. Here's that rainfall forecast. You can see the best chance for rain, of course, to the south. I'm thinking our southern counties are going to see a little bit more than that. Maybe half an inch in San Antonio. Most likely less than that, though. Further to the north in the hill country, maybe later today into tonight in the western parts of the hill country, possibly about a third to a half of an inch of rainfall. We're also noticeably cooler, temperature of 90 in San Antonio. There once again is Harold on the radar. And the further you go to the north, less of a chance of rain as we head through the afternoon into tonight. Mainly southwestern counties seeing the chance for rain and possibly some isolated severe storms later on today into tonight. That all moves out if you're by tomorrow morning. Could have a leftover shower in our western counties tomorrow morning. All that clears out by the afternoon to bring back more sunshine. Temperatures tomorrow once again going back to near 100 degrees. And as we head closer to the weekend, we're going to go back to that dry, sunny and hot weather pattern we've been stuck in for quite a while. So one break today, but it's going to come along with that possibility for some strong storms. So we've got 90 degrees or so for around now, 94 for a high, so not as hot. Down in our southern counties, temperatures noticeably cooler because of the rainfall. Showers west tonight, mainly earlier on tonight, otherwise mostly cloudy, a low of 79. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. And the 7-day forecast showing the chance of rain goes down for tomorrow, a high of 100, that 30%, mainly western counties early in the morning. And then as we head into the weekend, we go right back into the lower to middle 100s with only
goes. So we'll watch it closely in the coming days. But in the meantime, we do know that it will bring flooding, rain and wind. A look at the storm itself on satellite, that rotation coming together. Here's the center of circulation just about in this location here. Looks like we're picking up on a little bit of that circulation down to the surface. A lot of the convection on the eastern side of this storm. We do have a lot of rain already within radar's view, kind of filtering in across Puerto Rico. We're kind of on the outskirts of the Dominican Republic. You have Punta Cana that sits right about here, and so they've already got more in the way of some showers to get you going as you've gone through the morning and into the afternoon. But this is only going to continue to worsen as Franklin gets a bit closer. Now, Franklin was one for us to watch this weekend, was invest 90L, and then from there continue to strengthen in the eastern Caribbean seas, where we've had a lot of warm water. And, you know, that's been one of the questions, you know, is warm water going to win out in the tropics? And in Franklin's case, it has, where we have those water temperatures well above average into the mid to upper 80s. That's going to help fuel the strengthening of the structure of this storm. And as it pushes up to the north, while it does interact with some land, the western part of the Dominican Republic is very mountainous, and you've got really tall mountain peaks. And so for a brief moment, we might see Franklin lose some of its strength, getting wrung out with a whole lot of rain, especially as those winds kind of wrap up into the mountains. You see the eastern side of the Dominican Republic really seeing more in the way of the flood potential. Incredible amounts of rain could be possible as we go through Wednesday. 18 to 24 inches of rain could be a real possibility. Punta Cana sits with maybe about 2 to 3 inches there, but you can see the DR fares a whole lot worse than what we're going to see in Haiti. And so flash flooding could become life-threatening. We could see landslides and mudslides out of this over Hispaniola as Franklin takes that turn up to the north. Now, where Franklin goes from here is going to be an interesting one for us to watch. Here's a look at the forecast cone. You can see perhaps some of that weakening as it emerges over the DR as we go into early Thursday.